What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another exciting episode of the Tribune Show. We're super excited to have you. As you know, it wouldn't quite be one of my intros if I didn't completely biff it in one way or another. So I hope you guys enjoyed the backstage sneak peek. Also, backstage, we have our co-host of tonight's show. Tonight, we will be joined by Alan from Space Audits. Very excited to have him as well. So let me, without further ado, go ahead and bring in my guest. We have lots of really awesome topics to cover. Of course, I have to redo my display capture just real quick. It was just there a second ago, but whatever. What can you do? This will just take a second. If you just count to 1 Mississippi, really slow, then here in just a second, we will be ready to go. And it's going to be awesome. Got a lot of exciting topics to go over tonight. So, yeah, let's go ahead and reintroduce my co-host, Alan from Space Audits. Welcome. How are you doing tonight, my friend?
Hey, brother, I'm doing good. How are you tonight, man?
Oh, you know me. Another day in paradise. Struggling,
Absolutely.
troubling, trying to get through.
Struggling, troubling, dude. Well, it's a good thing, we can just make a new grift or whatever and see how that goes and just keep grifting or whatever we do.
Oh yeah, dude, just all in it for the money and
Yeah.
none of the truth, right?
Yep.
Super funny.
Classic. But yeah, we got a good show tonight, man. Tribune's made an excellent discovery. Brought some gravy that we're going to get into, and we got some awesome news topics to cover. So,
Yeah, but
anyway, why don't you get into that?
yeah, not some of the boring, super boring news either. So we got some good stuff here to go through. So a little bit of old news, a little bit of new news. But before we get into the super serious stuff, I wanted to start us off with this article from Big Think, one of our favorite publications, talking about the art of Zen, something that's really important. Um, Now, as I bring this up, I will preface this by saying that I think that there is some truth in this article. So, do take some of this with a grain of salt, but I think the direction they take it is just very interesting. And so, I really don't want to talk too much for the article. Let's go ahead and bring this up. From Big Think, the title, Do You Crave Deeper Knowledge? Go Zen and Learn to Forget. All right, where are you guys at?
Is your show still playing the intro, I think?
No, no, it's not. You're just a little behind on the thing.
Oh, okay.
If it is, then we got an issue. But
Yeah, it's still. I mean, I don't think I'm behind, brother. Might want to check.
no, I think it's good. Hey guys in the
Good.
chat, if you could go ahead and let me know how the video is going,
Yep.
because
Now I can see the article. You have it up now. Okay, maybe I was behind. My bad. I'm not.
yeah, okay, I
Okay,
thought
sorry.
so.
Sorry about
All
that.
good.
I was looking over and I just saw the astronaut still in the time warp, and I was like, oh no, he's in a time dilation field or something. We got to get him out, boys.
Yeah, it can be really pesky with that general relativity, the space blanket getting all wrapped up. Anyway,
Yeah.
do you
Yeah.
crave deeper knowledge? I sure do. So, according to Big Think, we need to go Zen and learn to forget things. Obviously, I've always thought that in order to achieve something, it's best to go the opposite way of that thing. But let's see how they word it here. Obviously, we don't want to get bogged down with BS, so maybe they are meaning to get rid of that. But let's go on. Forgetting what we have learned, not always anti-intellectual. Okay, I agree with that. Thinkers through the ages, from Zen master Shunryu Suzuki to Henry David Thoreau, butchered that, have suggested that we cultivate not knowing along with learning. Okay, I like where this is going. I can definitely vibe with the idea of not being able to know everything in the universe. That seems egotistical. Along with learning, if you don't appreciate the importance of not knowing everything, you are going to have problems. So far, so good, man. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I think I didn't really hear any of that. I was talking to Brendan in the chat. Sorry.
Jesus. All right. Try not to
Yeah.
have too much of your time sapped. Anyway,
Yeah.
it is only when we forget all our learnings that we begin to know. I do not get nearer by a hair's breadth to any natural object so long as I presume that I have an introduction to it from some learned man. To conceive of it with total apprehension, I must, for the thousandth time, approach it as something totally strange. That's a quote from Henry David Thoreau. And, I couldn't really agree more with that. It's always good to take a fresh eye to things again and again to make sure that you're getting the full depth of everything that an object or anything really has to offer, even thoughts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I find that's best, when you're trying to learn something new and you've over focused on it and you get to a point where you can't figure out anything more about it. And it isn't until you put it away and come back to it at a later time and you've had some time to reflect and learn new things that you can, come back and re-examine it. So yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty. I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's not the best read, but just want to pull out some like key parts here because they're, as you guys know, you get my raw reaction. So, all right. We also need fresh approach to things of interest to see them as if it is as if for the first time to attain a beginner's mind. This approach would help make a thing quote strange. Okay, nothing that we don't already know, right? Don't be closed-minded, keep open-minded, look at things with a new eye. Got it. What else? Years ago, and I kept coming. I don't care. Let's see if we can pull out some more value over here. I kept coming across the idea that knowledge is not a good thing. Okay, this is the turn that I thought it would take. When I kept coming across the idea that knowledge was not a good thing, I used to wonder if this was anti-intellectualism. But I kept finding the idea in the work of many brilliant thinkers that I admired. I loved to read and study, and I knew they did. So why were they so negative about knowledge? Here is a poet David Hilton's translation of the Tao Te Ching. Not knowing, knowing is not knowing. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's hard to read. Knowing, not knowing is lofty. Not knowing is affliction. You guys understand that? Or is that like
The old knowing, not knowing, knowing conundrum, dude.
Jesus? All right, so they're really trying to like get people all scrambled here.
Yeah,
Either
I
that or
mean,
I'm just scrambled, right? Had a really good break before the show. So anyway, I can kind
yeah,
of agree with the knowing that you don't know something, right? It can be fine.
yeah.
Not knowing that you don't know something is affliction, right? So it's good to explore and find out the things that you don't know and be okay with the things that you can't necessarily find out, right? Maybe some things in this universe we are not meant to know. So let's move on. Not to be confused, by the way, with the idea that we shouldn't pursue things just because we can't know. Which
Well, when during your flat Earth journey and and rediscovering everything, did you go through a phase where you were like immediately like the first thing you came across that explained whatever phenomenon you were like, yeah, that's the thing, it's true. Did you ever kind of go through that? I feel like that the not knowing conundrum or whatever the affliction is like you go through that immediate replacement phase, and it isn't until later on in the journey where you're like, yeah, I don't have an answer for that, and I'm okay with that for now, and like and usually it always works out, and you end up finding out more later. But I went through a phase, where I definitely was like, oh yeah, that's the new thing that does the thing. I just like replaced it the same way as we learned it. So
well, when I get faced with the question of like how it is that we're all here, the like super big question, right? Like, well, if there is a God,
yeah.
then who created God, or did God create Himself? How did that all happen? And would that even be logic? Would that even logically track? Is there always going to be an afterlife? Um,
Yeah.
these are the questions that I wonder if we will ever know. But anyway, Beginner's mind, always find a frame of mind in which you are a beginner. Maybe once again you keep coming back to the role of the student. Uh, blah blah blah. Jesus. When you cultivate not knowing with learning, you also allow room for mystery for the profound and inexplicable parts of life. All right. As I sometimes put it, knowledge from the soul is more intimate than knowledge from research and study. Mm. I think they mean going within and asking real questions and then actually doing your own pursuit of knowledge instead of just listening to the learned people at the beginning of the paragraph or at the beginning of the article is a much better take.
Yeah. I mean, that's straight facts, man. It isn't really until you begin your own process of going through it and really understanding what you think you understand and going through that, is it's a whole thing. And like, you can't just watch other people that have, that are like trying to explain what they went through and then absorb it as if, that's the same process. You know what I mean? Like you just absorb it.
So here's the thing that I disagree with vehemently, and it happens to be in the last sentence. Finally got some spice here. Sometimes a good distance is useful. Still, there is some valuable emptiness in forgetting your information and just being present with the object of your investigation. Like just forgetting everything that you know, everything that could be possible with it. I do disagree with forgetting. Now, looking at it with a beginner's mind, right? Like trying to look at it open minded, sure.
Yeah.
But
Suspending it, or whatever,
but
right? For a time.
why would you suspend like there's certain things that I feel you shouldn't suspend when it comes to the known measurable physics, right? The objective reality. But hey, maybe that's just me. Maybe we're living in a dream and it's all subjective, and everything will change tomorrow after I go to sleep. Who knows? Chat, thoughts, opinions. Go ahead and jump back over to us before we get into the next article. Fun stuff there, man.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you think it's useful to forget things that you have learned and studied in order to attain new knowledge, or do you think it's wiser to cycle it?
Oh, cycle it for sure.
Heck yeah, I'm gonna read some chats here, and we'll go ahead and move on. I'm stuck using the display capture, so there's nothing really I can do about showing you guys the astronaut when I have to to do things. But it is what it is. Let's go ahead and shout out the lovely folks over on Rockfin. You guys are legends. We have Nominal. What is up, my friend Nuba? Shane St. Pierre. What's up, my friend? Cracker Bear. Stop entertaining trolls. I think that's to you.
Yeah, that was my bad, dude.
If the man known as Brenda joins
Absolutely.
again, I'll be tuning out. Andrew B. Shane St. Pierre. Jeremy Bird. Oh yeah, awesome. We do have to shout that out. Jeremy Bird, the Troubling Tribe has a GoFundMe set up so that we can make it to Vegas, y'all. We are trying to make some connections, bring some cool stuff to the table. So, but I hadn't planned on going, so the finances were just so behind that I wasn't making any attempt to. But I was approached by some people in the audience, and I felt that if you guys want me to go, that there's no reason that I shouldn't make an attempt. So I appreciate that. If you guys want to check that out, you can go to the GoFundMe that Mr. Bird has posted. Huge shout out, my friend. All right, and then we got some others in there. The Silent Minority, the Legendary Minority over on Rockfin, supporting not just myself, but the other content creators such as Jaronism, Mark Sargent, Karen B, Mellow Dome, THC, FMX, and many, many more. If you want to know, you're going to have to go. And of course, now over to the YouTube, we have Water World. What is up, my friend? Nuba, David, Zamurl, Rashad, Michael Ray. We have Brenda. We have Killer Man, Kakuzu, Three Fingers. Also, Space Audits, legendary. Flat Sabbath, Bill Wheel, Michael Ray, Vlad B, Robert Kelly. You guys are awesome. Lots of chatting going on. It's hard to keep up. I'm gonna try to speed it up here. Effed Up World, Mellow Dome in the house. What is up, my friend? Just so you guys
Shout
know.
out. I was gonna say shout out to the boys.
Yeah, shout out to the boys. Absolutely. We are gonna be opening up the panel over on the Rockfin side, so stay tuned for that. We got OVC. We got. Let's keep on going. We got Austin Murphy, QTA, Explore Flat Earth. The author's just saying, in order to learn something new, you have to be willing to let go of what you currently believe. And hey, I definitely agree with that, Brenda. That is something that we do agree on that sentiment there. What is up, Tom Tompton and Space Miner? All right, guys, enough of that. Appreciate you guys. We are gonna take another dig into the pile. What are we dealing with here? We have. We'll go ahead and let you pick one because the order at this point really doesn't matter.
All right, what are my options here?
We got the 8-year-old boy says upends 100 years of science regarding insects and plants. Hey, if you want to tear down a paradigm about insects or plants, that is just fine. Don't you dare come at the cosmology or the general placement of things of which we live. All right. We also have water, actually not the best beverage. We also have rocks from the Earth's mantle, and then getting into the main event topics of tonight's show. Of course, the near Earth. Let me just read it. The quasi-moon, the new quasi-moon discovered.
I'll take 8-year-old kid debunks mainstream insects and whatever for 100, Alex.
I'll take 8-year-old makes scientists look dumb. Let's go.
Oh, that's our daily double. All right.
That's our daily double. All right. We'll go ahead and let me get back over here. Oh, hey, Melodome with the $5 donation. Huge shout out. Thank you for supporting the show.
I was going to ask you if you don't reach the 3K, do you still get the money? And if you don't, what's your cash app? So I can just send you that.
Sure. So GoFundMe, I do believe, sends the money back if we don't hit the goal. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I have never set one up, and I didn't even set this one up. So I could ask. Totally. I'd have to ask Melodome. Melodome, if you're listening.
Yeah, let me know what's up because I want you to just get it either way. And like I know that sometimes they'll do a refund if it doesn't work out or something.
Oh, sure. Well, I definitely appreciate that. And that's actually one of the best ways to support the show is the Cash App, MrTribune. So we do appreciate that. Much love, guys. It definitely means a lot. We have turned our attention to full-time truther mode. If you guys haven't noticed, we're doing streams every single day. We're showing up on other shows. We're trying to have great conversations, spread the word, and make an impact. Also doing a lot over with NASA audits. So, okay, you guys are still on the astronaut. Let's go ahead and bring you over to the article. All right, this one from Brighter Side News. It's like these guys are just having AIs make their names and write their articles.
Oh, dude, remember during the thing when you could look up, a certain combination of words and like it would generate thousands of articles immediately based on a few keywords and it would match exactly.
Oh my goodness.
To correspond to the current thing on the news. That was really cool. I wonder if shout out to the early ChatGPT model or whatever.
Right, just crushing it. It's like we got to shut that down.
That's awesome.
All right, let's go ahead and dive right on in. We got the because we are actually burning through some time. It's already been 30 minutes. All right, we have the 2-hour cutoff, hard cutoff. So we're gonna crunch through these. 8-year-old boy upends 100 years of science regarding insects and plants. This little jerk. All right, published June 3rd. Let's try not to go zigzaggy. Just a staff writer made it. Okay, so probably AI generated. Who knows?
Yeah, dude, that's the hallmark of a nice chat GBT piece.
Yeah, we'll try not to waste too much time on it. All right, Penn State scientists, thanks to 8-year-old Hugo Dean's curiosity, have discovered a new level of complexity in plant insect interactions through a groundbreaking study that has turned a century of knowledge about the relationship on its head. Okay. Just to be real, 100%, all jokes aside, I love articles like this that tell us how intelligent and cognitive the plants, animals, and everything around us are. And it just turns the idea that, oh, we're so far ahead of them on its head. I think that we are the dominant species, obviously, but, there's people suggesting that these things aren't conscious, and that's just ridiculous to me. But okay, so let's go ahead and read on. The team was investigating ants' attraction to oak galls when they discovered an elaborate relationship between ants, wasps, and oak trees. The researchers found the oak gall wasps are manipulating oaks to produce galls and then manipulating ants to retrieve the galls to their nests, where the wasps' larvae may be protected from the gall predators or receive other benefits. Wow. They have a full, like, multifaceted farm here, it looks like. That's pretty awesome. What do you think about that, Alan?
That's nuts, man. Evolution's really cool that they all just kind of developed into a harmonious, synchronized, you know, ecosystem. Really, it's beautiful that that happened out of nothing and with no direction or guidance, and just a pure, desire to overcome and adapt.
Well, I, for one, feel like the ants are being incredibly marginalized by the bees, and I think that somebody needs to protest and possibly put a stop to this. Because this is hate. This is a hate crime.
Yeah, I. You
Well,
know what? And you know what? You said earlier that the ants and stuff are conscious, man, or had consciousness to them, and I didn't think that they did, but I kind of do now.
what are you gonna do,
I
man?
just, I just, I just went through a whole process where I felt bad for every insect I killed because I was like, yeah, you guys were definitely like doing your own thing and chilling, and I fucking smoked you.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry.
It happens. There's
Yeah.
also I mean, Delcos, I remember when I had him on the show, he was telling me that, well, ants count their steps, so can we even call them conscious? I'm like, dude, as a kid, I've counted my steps. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I'm counting stuff right now, dude.
what the heck? Anyway,
That's crazy.
so looking back, let's get back into it. Looking back, Hugo now 10 says that he thought they were seeds and felt excited because I didn't know ants collected seeds. And I always thought that ants would eat food scraps and stuff around the house. Then I got more excited when my dad told me they were galls because he was so excited. I was surprised that the ants would collect galls because why would they do that? And Hugo's father is Andrew Deans, a professor of etymology at Penn State. Why aren't you just observing this stuff naturally? Like, I'm looking in my all the time. I'm observing the stuff in my backyard, and the ants do crazy stuff. I would say that if there was a bid for the next dominant species on the planet, it would totally be ants.
Ants.
They outnumber us 1,000,000,000 to 1.
Dude, they don't mess around. They can get stuff done. Like they don't complain. They just get it done. They don't care.
So obviously, from this discovery, bada bing, bada boom, they discover this whole complex relationship, the new multi-layered type. Let me try to pronounce this. Myrmecochory. I probably butchered the hell out of that. I don't know what that means. Somebody in the chat can look that up, or maybe you can. One that combined the wasp oak gall interaction with the edible appendage ant interaction. This is also interesting too because there's a species of ant that scuba dives, like creates air bubbles and then goes into the water. This was discovered
Yeah,
by a channel called Ants Canada, and then there was
that guy's
also
awesome.
yeah, I love that channel. And then
I've
there's
seen me some of his videos.
he makes some really awesome ant farms. If anybody's interested in that kind of stuff, and then you actually I've learned quite a bit about ants on that. But anyway, then there's also there's an ant colony that actually colonizes a type of I believe it's a type of flea, and it like literally like will have them with them as pets, and it's crazy. So Yeah, this whole idea that they're not sentient is ridiculous to me. All right, so let's see here. Let's get the final words. I think we pulled all the value that we can out of here.
Yeah.
No, it's the same thing. Just going back over the same thing over and over again. The researchers show that the galls and the calves were far more attractive. I don't care about that. All right, guys, you get the idea. Let's go ahead and move on. I'll go ahead and pick the next one. We are going to do... Yeah, we're going to do the Food Republic one real quick because this one blew my mind super quick. Water actually isn't the best beverage for hydration. This is going to blow your mind. Now, before we go into this, what I'd like the chat to do is imagine yourself like working out really hard, going for a run or something like that, and now it's time to cool down. What's the first thing that comes to mind when it's time to get a drink? Alan, what's your first choice?
Well, some people would say water, but that shit's disgusting. For me, I like different variations of dairy products. So anything that's creamy or chunky or anything like that.
Oh my goodness. Nice. It's not my first go-to. Like I want something with less viscosity, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, I drink cottage cheese actually. So,
That's crazy. All
yeah.
right. Let me see some of your guys' answers here. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone. Super
We got
professional show.
we got vodka, we got limonata, and that's all we got so far.
Guess why we need water? We are starved for hydrogen. That might be true. All right, guys.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting choices. So I personally would grab water, but obviously water is not the correct choice here for hydration. Let's read on. Findings in a 2016 study. Take it to the bank. It's conclusive science published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition suggests that water isn't the best drink for hydration, at least in terms of long-term bodily fluid balance. The answer, it's actually milk. Looks like you're ahead of the game.
Like I said, I'm a cottage cheese guy.
Why not just drink heavy cream? All right. May be shocking. Both skim and whole milk can be more hydrating than still water, even when accounting for the drink's inherent water content. This is hilarious. It isn't only defined by fluid balance, but also retention, meaning the beverage's benefits aren't quickly lost due to urination. Nutrients in the milk like fat, lactose, and sodium contribute to its ability to stay in the body longer. Just make sure that if you are going to drink milk, that you don't get that store-bought pumped full of medicine.
Yeah, dude, I was gonna ask, are they advocating for you to get like, farmers market milk where it's from, not the government?
Well, if it passes the FDA standards, then they're probably going to say it's okay. But
Yeah.
my goodness, electrolytes are notably helpful in terms of maintaining. Now, do they mean cow's milk or do they mean like other human milk too? Because there's a huge difference in that composition.
Mm.
So, nearly 90 people participated in the study, and the milk's hydrating effects weren't the only surprise noted in the results. Orange juice actually proved to be surprisingly hydrating as well. This is hilarious. They want you to get some sugar and some BS when I think
Yeah,
all you
dude,
really need
all
is
the
some
milk
water.
they sell in stores is filled with sugar.
It's certainly more expensive to buy milk, that's for sure.
Yeah, they just want you to drink a bunch of they want you to drink a bunch of water that has sugar in it, guys.
It's
That's
telling you,
basically that's basically what they're saying.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so like this is literally idiocracy. It's what plants crave. They're going to start like obviously milk is the way
It's
to go.
what plants crave.
Plays an important role in maintaining our body temperature and providing nutrients to our cells. Water is traditionally the beverage recommended for hydration, obviously. Okay. Anything else of value here?
I
Nah.
mean, I think we learned a lot so far.
Reasons, some beverages, nah, we don't really care. You
And
just
like
told
dude
us.
said, it's best to forget
It,
sometimes.
yeah, this is probably one of these things that's best to forget.
Yeah.
Sorry for wasting our time with that. All right, dude, let's go ahead and get into the main event. Let's pull up the quasi-moon that they just discovered, but somehow has been around our planet since 100 BC. A lot of presuppositions there, right? The planet, the timing, um, all of it. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. Astronomers recently identified asteroid 2023 FW13 as a quasi moon, a space rock orbiting the sun nearly in tandem with the Earth. Wow, so it's just right with us almost the whole time as we whip through space at 4 different vectors at millions of miles per second. All right. Scientists recently discovered an asteroid that tags along with Earth's during its yearly journey around the sun, dubbed that 2023 FW13. We're just going to call it 13 for short for now. Space rock considered a quasi moon. Yeah, I'm trying not to fall asleep.
No, sorry, it's not that. It's not that. I swear.
No, seriously, sometimes reading these space articles can be
Yeah.
maddening. Maddening. That's why I do it
I
live
just
with you guys. If I do
just
it
can't
live with
believe these. So funny. They like how so everyone that's a heliocentrist just immediately has to be like, yeah, this is the old thing. I can't believe they all have to be excited in unison about it. It's crazy because like, how are they going to refute it, right?
well, it's unrefutable. The globe is unfalsifiable, admittedly, um, because they claim that it's true. Right, so you can't falsify something that's true. Clever. That's clever. But it's also unscientific. So anyway,
Yeah.
so we got this quasi moon that's been with us this whole time, since all the way since 100 BC. They're claiming. I wonder how they know that if we just discovered it. But let's read on here. Slightly influenced by our planet's gravitational pull, sounds like BS. Estimated to be 50 feet in diameter, equivalent to 3 large SUVs. Yeah, always comparing it to how many cars it could be.
How
This,
many cars is it, dude? Didn't they do that with satellites?
yes,
Or
this
I mean,
one.
with the balloon thing, they were like, yeah, it's about the size of 2 buses or
No, they
whatever.
said 3 buses, dude. That's why this is so funny. So that was 3 buses.
Yeah.
This
Oh
is
my
three
god.
large SUVs, bumper to bumper.
Nice. Wow, that's very specific and precise.
How many times do you think they reworked the math based on the projected angular size to get that?
I want you know what? Yeah. We're gonna have to go and look into that, man. That's quite a discovery they've made.
Absolutely. All right. During its orbit of the sun, 13 also circles Earth, coming within 9 million, so close, miles of our planet. For a comparison, the moon has a diameter of 2,159 miles and comes within 226 million miles. Or, sorry, 226,000 miles, not million. Misspoke. Earth is the closest point in its orbit. Try not to fall asleep again, according to NASA. All right. First observed in March by the Pan Star Observatory located atop the volcanic mountain in Hawaii. Asteroid's existence was then confirmed by the Canada France Hawaii telescope in Hawaii. And then 2 other observatories in Arizona, and then officially listed April 1st. This is not important at all. I don't care about that at all. Sorry, guys. Let's try to find the meat of this. Seems to be the longest quasi satellite of Earth known to date. How do you come to that conclusion?
Why are they calling it a quasi satellite if it's been a satellite for since 100 BC or whatever? Like, when
Pro-
is it going to get its proper recognition, you think?
Probably because it's fake, but that's my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
it could be fake. It could be real, right? This could be one of the explanations for why we see a supposed star in front of the moon from time to time on super rare occasions, supposedly. We'll get into that here in just a bit. Despite hovering relatively close to the Earth, quasi satellite likely isn't on a collision course. Who cares? Good news is such an orbit doesn't result in impacting this. Yeah, that's right. It's parallel through space and time.
Dude, three SUVs bumper to bumper would collide with the Earth, and do like a lot of people could get hurt from that.
Seems like it. So, new study suggests that this asteroid could actually be a fragment of Earth's moon. Here's the study right here, this visual that they played. Wow. Stunning. Well, pack it up, obviously. How can the Earth be flat if, there's quasi-moons and all this other stuff in space, right? I think that's all they're going to give us. That's all they gave us. Did not tell us how they came to the conclusion that it was around since 100 BC.
Well, do you want to follow that NASA hyperlink at the top real quick and see if they're like citing something that's like where maybe we can get something more out of it?
Sure. Where do I click?
Because I'm up at the top, and then it says according to NASA. Then there's a hyperlink.
Oh, okay. 1 second. According to this right here.
Yeah, scroll down a little bit though.
Oh, you said yeah.
That's it.
Instinctively.
Oh, sorry. I'm watching the stream, so it's slightly delayed. It's in the first paragraph at the bottom. It just says according to NASA.
Okay, yeah, I got that. This is just what is a supermoon. This doesn't even have anything to do.
Wow. So, dude, wow. Yeah, dude. So it's like according to NASA, and then it just doesn't even reference a discovery by NASA about the thing they're talking about.
No.
So yeah, this is just completely made up, dog.
This is completely made up.
Wow, dude.
Is there a quasi-moon at all?
A quasi-moon.
Any evidence of this at all? Here's the illustration. This is proof, right? No, we gotta be missing something. Officially listed. Let's check the official listing.
Nah, ChatGPT messed up. We just exposed it live to just fake the source, dog.
Yeah, totally. Here's MPEC 2023. Here's the list, right, that it claims to be listed on. Minor planet, electronic circular, maybe linked. I don't care. What is that? I think I just found like the backlog data. This would be good to explore. Might have stumbled across a rabbit hole here. Prepared using the Tamkin Foundation computer network. That's probably important.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that later.
Nice. Just open up a can of worms. Yeah. I'm looking for the. You remember the one? It was the 20. Hold on, let's go back. It was listed as the 2023 FW13. Okay, so we got the 2023 FW13. This isn't even the right format. What? Did we just catch a proof of an AI created article?
Dude, like, did it just cite a data set that's not even relevant to what the observations it's claiming?
Yeah, this is a data set for the minor planet. This is okay. The following minor planet electronic circular may be linked. Okay, so that's what it is. The Intellectual Astronomical Minor Planet Center. I mean, it could be. Right? It's got the asteroid here. Right? So, but let's see if it's actually in that data set, right? Because I'm not seeing it at all, actually. Nothing that even remotely. Okay, FW13. I'm just looking at the wrong spot. Okay, because I put this K23 in front of it. Okay, let's go back. 2023 FW13. That's all the reference it's giving me. This is F13W. Shoot. Yeah, this is going to take us down a rabbit hole. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to post this link for anybody who wants to check it out. 1 second.
I'm going to look at that later because that's interesting. I think they just made that shit up too.
I think that they just made that shit up too. Pardon the language, guys.
Oh yeah, I apologize as well.
Usually, it's all right. It's not a kid show, obviously, but I do tend to
Yeah.
relax sometimes. And anyway, there you go. It's posted in the Rockfin and the YouTube for you guys. No chance this little quasi moon is responsible for the supposed sightings of stars inside the disk of the moon. If this thing ever got in between the Earth and the moon, no way people wouldn't have been tracking it. Well, that's the thing. Supposedly, they have started to track it. Um, that kind of sounds like an argument from incredulity, right? Just because we don't know if there was somebody tracking it. But again, this whole thing seems fake to me now. So what are you gonna do, right? Um, that's one of the things that you have to be on the lookout for when you're looking at these articles, because there is the ability now to just create an entire article from nothing, using artificial intelligence, and some of the tells would be them getting details completely wrong, it's citing completely wrong data sets, etc. So fun how this took a little bit of a turn. Before we get into the next half and stuff, I want to cover just a little bit on the next topic, the bit of gravy that we found earlier. It's just really fun. I was doing a search. So this article right here that we're looking at, I'm going to go pull over to the Zoom. So that article that we were looking at um, actually got me thinking about possible ways that we could have been seeing the stars through the moon with these observations. And obviously this brought me to the Eddington observations, right, where they're actually trying to calculate the amount of light that's actually hitting a plate. And I got to thinking, I was like, wait a second. Even if you did that kind of experiment, wouldn't that only mean that you're just getting some sort of light from wherever the heck you're tracking it from? It doesn't mean that it's bending around something or doing what you suspect it's doing, right? But maybe I just didn't understand enough of the experiment or the presentation. So that was a big motivation for bringing up my boy Space Audits. He does a fantastic presentation on a lot of intricate stuff when it comes to astrological physics and things like that. Whatever the heck you want to dub that. Anyway, I'm
I
gonna
think
go
that's the
ahead.
proper term for it.
Right there, you go. We got pseudophysics, we'll call it. Um, but in any case, I wanted to turn the floor over to you, Space Audits. Feel free to share your screen or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, how
To
do I share screen on here? And I'll go ahead and bring up what I got. We can get into.
There you go. You should be able to do it. If you go to the bottom toolbox, it'll say share screen.
Okay, let me send you a screenshot of what I see, and then you tell me where I'm going wrong. Check your Telegram real quick.
Okay. Nice. We're doing it live, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, doing it live. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, so you see that green button? It's literally highlighted.
Oh, dude, that's embarrassing. Thank you. All right.
Sorry, I had to call you out like that live on the
No,
stream.
you're
But
straight, bro. You're straight. It's all good. I was like over focused looking at it. Okay, so the share screen is up.
gorgeous. I love the bear background.
Thanks, man. Demon Stride from Tartaria 24/7 Cosmology Discord, or I think they renamed themselves. But anyway, he generated that for me with an AI. This is an AI generated thing. Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, so for the Eddington observations, what they were trying to establish was starlight displacement due to a gravitational field, and there's some. What they were going to say was that the photons traveling from the distant star are traveling in the straight line, the geodesic they call it, and it would travel along the curvature of space time, and that curvature would be caused by the gravitational field of the sun. So they hypothesized that if they took observations during a solar eclipse when the sun was dim enough to get precise measurements, that they could take before and after shots of stars and see if there was any displacement as the sun passed through them. And what they found was, well, first of all, it's claimed that this was a successful confirmation of relativity theory, and Eddington took these pictures. So for a lot of people who don't actually know the full narrative or anything like that, you might be conceptualizing a situation where like in this graph here, you guys can see this. Yeah, okay, you can see the screen. All right, so you might be conceptualizing something like this in your head. You're like, oh, okay, so the star's back here, and then it was displaced by the field, and you can see how there's like this distance between, like the blackness vacuum of space and the star. So you think that this field is like, outside of the sun, but what Eddington actually photographed was uh starlight displacement within the solar limb, and they're saying that the star should have been obscured by the solar limb, but they saw it in the solar limb, so they're saying that it wrapped around the sun, and they're calling that gravitational lensing. And to give some context on what the solar limbs and stuff are, because actually for a while I thought that the solar limb meant that it was like out here in this area, in this blackness, like a little bit, like there was some leadway on these observations. It's not the case. It's actually at this darkest part, like where this last pixel would meet the blackness, like that's like the physicality of the sun is the like that last portion there before it fades into black is the solar limb. So the displacement that they saw, instead of seeing a star like out here in the black, they saw a star in the solar limb, and they're attributing that to gravitational effects in support of relativity theory. Now, what Tribune found was documentation of this happening with the moon. So we've all heard stars shining through the moon, and we've all been called crazy for that, and all these sorts of things. We've even seen a couple of videos of stars and planets of it, but nothing too
Well,
convincing yet.
Alan,
Keep
pump the
going.
brakes just a little bit. We're gonna go
Uh-huh.
more into that on the second half of
Oh,
the
okay.
show.
Sorry.
So,
Yeah.
no, you're good. I'm just checking the time, and I want to go ahead and make sure that everybody gets their outro for those of people who, for one reason or another, can't make it over to Rockfin. We still love you. Thank you for participating, but that has been our time for the first half. We're about to kick it on over to the Cool Kids Club over on Rockfin. It is free for now, so while we are live, feel free to hit the link in the description below if you are still on YouTube, and we will catch you over on the Rockfin shortly. Let me go ahead and just real briefly give you guys the astronaut treatment. Appreciate it. Much love, everybody. I will do just a very brief shout out. Seeing if we're missing anything super interesting in the chat. Looks like you guys are having a true fate debate. We're going to be getting back to that Wednesday night, guys. That's going to be absolutely awesome. Lots of interest in that topic when I'm not doing the show. Really fun. But we do kind of struggle to get some different panel members when we do have the show. So if you guys do like that and you haven't been a part, then feel free to jump in it sometime because it will be awesome. If I did that correct, I did. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get this pulled up for you guys. We're doing an outro. Love you guys. This, I can't believe it always wants to take a second when I'm in the crunch. But hey, who should we exit out with today? Let's go ahead and do some conspiracy music guru. Our favorite let's go ahead and pick one out. We got I Told You So, Puppet Show. Alan,
Great song.
which one would you like to hear, man? Let's give you the
Oh,
floor.
send Puppet Show, brother.
Send Puppet Show. All right, let's go ahead and get it. Folks, enjoy the show. We will see you guys on the other side. Thanks for joining us. If I don't catch you, we will see you next time. Peace.
This is my company.
We're going to skip that ad here in just a second. Lots of missed times today. Must be the lunar cycle. We're just going to roll right through it. Not going to get hung up on anything, please feel free to re-upload and mirror the video. Why can I hear nothing? Can you hear it? Okay.
Well, let me tell you something about the space station. It's only really there in your imagination. That thing ain't real. It's science fiction. It's there to feed your space addiction. Those astronauts are not in space. It's written all over their stupid face. See, I can spot a lie from 100 miles. And I can spot a fraud from the way they smile. Didn't you learn nothing from the fake moon mission? That puppet show from President Nixon. Well, listen up, they're doing it again, it seems. Check out the harnesses and green screens. I used to work a lot in film and TV. I know a bit about the television trickery to create the illusion that you're somewhere that you're not. A green screen is what you're gonna use a lot. Or if you wear a harness and attach it to the ceiling, the illusion that you're floating is what they'll be believing. All you're watching is a puppet show, yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts, they're actors, of course, and yeah, they all get paid. Look at me, ma, I'm floating in space. No, you're not, you're lying to the human race. So let me tell you something about a zero-G plane. This thing flies up and then down again. Some weird stuff happens if you're on the inside. You start to float as the plane takes a dive. Simply add an actor that's trained to deceive, and you got yourself an astronaut, or so you believe. Plane flies up and that's everyone's cue. Then action, we got some deceiving to do. Plane flies down and then everyone knows to start the ISS live show. Floating in a plane with zero-G, but you only see astronauts on your TV. All you're watching is a puppet show, yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts, they're actors, of course, and yeah, they all get paid. Look at me, ma, I'm floating in space. No, you're not, you're lying to the human race. Well, another thing I noticed when I looked at these fools, they're filming spacewalks in buoyancy pools. NASA's gonna tell you that it's just for training, to practice for space station maintaining. Well, I thought about that, but if that's the case, then why the hell can I see bubbles in space? Take a hard look at the next spacewalk, and tell me if you can see bubbles at all. Open your eyes, man, I'll bet you a quarter. Those spacewalks are filmed underwater. I can see space bubbles everywhere. Hey, NASA, how the hell did those get there? All you're watching is a puppet show, yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts, they're actors, of course, and yeah, they all get paid. Look at me, ma, I'm floating in space. No, you're not, you're lying to the human race. So when you see an astronaut aboard the ISS, take another look at your TV set. They're pretty good at faking, so you gotta look close. Pay some attention to the way the actor floats. If you ask me, that ain't zero gravity, but Hollywood effects that I see on my TV. Take a good look at the whole damn thing. These lying bastards are just puppets on a string. It's all a big science fiction puppet show. The game's up, NASHOs, cause we all know. Thanks for the show, NASA. It's been a blast. Now take your fake station and shove it up your... All you're watching is a puppet show, yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts, they're actors, of course, and yeah, they all get paid. Look at me, ma, I'm floating in space. No, you're not, you're lying to the whole human race. All you're watching is a puppet show, yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts, they're just actors, of course, and yeah, they all get paid. Look at me, ma, I'm floating in space. No, you're not, you're lying to the whole human race, man. All you're watching is a puppet show, yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts, they're actors, of course, and yeah, they all get paid. Look at me, ma, I'm floating in space. No, you're not, you're lying to the whole human race. All you're watching is a puppet show, yeah, the